Yesterday-ish, time zone dependent, there was an update to the Adepta Sororitas, a small rule change, but significant for gameplay. This was not announced on the Warhammer community website. It is not even listed in the Codex FAQ and errata download section of the Warhammer community. And there have been rules updates in the past there without any announcement. I have given it a day and still nothing on the website. How are you meant to know there is a rules update? Why are they doing rules updates this way? You have to find it on the Games Workshop downloadable 40k app. You go to the app, you go to the reference section, then Adepta Sororitas, then Codex, then Updates and Errata. Why are they doing a rules update this way? Not everyone has the app. Did it go live too soon? Was it a mistake? Just oh yeah, all updates pending, make them live. So I absolutely expect that when it comes time for the Christian von Carmian video on the June rules update that people will not know that the change has happened, assuming it is in the downloadable PDF at that time. So what's the change? Well, there's just one. This. Okay, great, everyone's seen it now. Obviously we all know and understand the change. It says that with the Hallowed Martyrs Divine Intervention stratagem, you can discard 1 to 3 miracle dice instead of discard 1 to 3 miracle dice. So the stratagem no longer requires you to discard miracle dice to use it. Your character will come back with 1 to 3 wounds depending on the d3 you roll instead of d3 plus 1. Pretty simple, and this changes everything about the stratagem. Do you realize how massive this is? Divine Intervention is already very strong. Yes, your opponent will get points for assassination because even if the character comes back, they were destroyed. They have to be destroyed for the stratagem to work. But you get your character back. Precision to remove characters is only a short-term gain. Characters sitting on objectives continue to hold it after they were shot. Any character can come back with this stratagem, except Celestine. The Triumph of Saint Catherine can come back. But the change makes it way better. You are destroyed. This generates a miracle dice as per the army rule. If not destroyed, then you couldn't use this stratagem. With the update, you don't need to spend the miracle dice you got to activate the stratagem. It is your miracle dice. So Morvenn Vahl gets back up. You don't spend a miracle dice, so the max wound she can get back is 3. This puts her below half strength, assuming she was not precision shot out of a Paragon Warsuit, in which case, well, aside from being unlikely, she would then rejoin the unit. Vahl gets +1 to wound because this is the Hallowed Martyrs detachment, and that is scary. And she returns at the end of the shooting phase if she was shot, so that means no more shots coming her way in that phase. So unless your opponent can charge and destroy her, an angry Vahl is coming for them. At the end of the fight phase, if that is when she was destroyed, she returns out of engagement range at the end of the phase, ready to shoot and charge and have those attacks have +1 to hit if she needs it, as she already hits on a 2+, and +1 to wound. I think this rule change also helps to clarify another part of Vahl's rules. We may have a better understanding of how Games Workshop understands sentences within rules. Games Workshop rules are about as well written as this metaphor. The first part of Divine Intervention is that you can do a thing, full stop. Regardless of if you do that thing, discarding the miracle dice, the other part happens. You return the model to the game. So Vahl's Righteous Repugnance. Each time this model's unit is selected to shoot or fight, you can discard 1 miracle dice, full stop. If you do, until the end of the phase, add 3 to the attacks characteristic of Fidelis and the Lance of Illumination, full stop. Each time an enemy unit is destroyed by this model, you gain 1 miracle dice. So I understand the second sentence. If you did discard the miracle dice, you get more attacks. It says, if you do. But the third sentence, each time an enemy unit is destroyed by this model, you gain 1 miracle dice. That isn't conditional on discarding a miracle dice. It is part of the same rule, but it is a separate sentence. Ideally, I would like to see it as a separate rule, a third rule on Morvenn Vahl's unit card. And really ideally, not be tied to Vahl as the model, but to the unit. That way you don't have to faff around to try and make Vahl the model the one that finished an enemy unit. Of course I would like an FAQ on that, but the FAQ is a mess of contradictions to other documents. It still has an FAQ to say you must pick a vow in the Penitent Host at the start of the battle round, while the balanced data slate makes it optional. But the FAQ also acknowledges the balanced data slate, and it has a comment about how the Imagifier works within the December constraints of the army rule, and the army rule has changed in the March balance patch. Okay. The real winner of the Divine Intervention rule change is the Palatine. Really any character with the Through Suffering Strength enhancement and a good combat profile. But I think we all know that's going to be the Palatine. Add 1 to the attacks, the strength, and the damage characteristic of the bearer's melee weapons. If the bearer has lost 1 or more wounds, add 2 attacks, 2 strength, and 2 more damage. Rapturous Blows is a Palatine's ability that gives you mortal wounds for every successful wound roll. So the more attacks you have, the higher your strength is, the more wounds you can cause, and the more likely you are to wound. So the Palatine likes to be wounded. So we're not going to use a miracle dice, we're just going to roll that d3. And as the Palatine has 4 wounds, the maximum number of wounds you can get back is 3. So she will be below starting strength and have lost 1 or more wounds. It is also possible to come back on 1 wound, which was not previously possible when d3 plus 1 meant a minimum of 2. This will give you the best of the enhancement bonus, and the bonus from the Hallowed Martyrs detachment rule. So if you roll a 1 on the d3, you get both parts of the detachment rule. +1 to hit, +1 to wound. You would have to beware Overwatch taking off your last wound, but you are ready to make a mess. There is more about the Palatine using Rapturous Blows and Palatines generally making an absolute mess of the enemy in this video. Have a great day with your sisters in 40k.